Hello everyone, thanks again for checking out this GoSquared webinar. This demo is going to assume you've got our JavaScript snippet installed along with our identify method. That's what will allow us to track down to an individual user level based on that user having logged into your site. If you haven't done this yet, you can find out how to do so at www.gosquared.com/docs. Today, the three areas I'm going to focus on are how you can use GoSquared to help turn your site's visitors into signups, convert new prospects into customers, and finally delight your customers through exceptional support. So I'll begin by showing how you can use GoSquared to help turn your site's visitors into signups. There's no hiding that it takes a lot of work to get visitors to your site. So when they get there, give them the opportunity to engage with you at the first opportunity to do so. One of the easiest ways to do this is through live chat. If we head to our demo site, you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a live chat widget right there. With our JavaScript snippet installed, you'll be able to add your own chat widget to your site. Undoubtedly, this is one of the best ways to turn visitors into signups. By giving your users the opportunity to engage with you in real time, it provides an outlet for them to ask any questions and gives you the opportunity to address them before they leave your site. If you click into the chat widget, a user is able to start a conversation with you. Hello. Then if we are to head to GoSquared and head to Inbox, Inbox is going to be our centralized platform for all of our user communication. So on the left-hand side, you'll have any of your live communications here. And on the right, you'll be able to archive any of those conversations. One of the really important things is if you were to click on the profile, you'll see for this anonymous conversation we've started, we've been able to track the user from the moment they've landed on our site. So you'll be able to see what drove them to the site and then all of the actions they've taken on the site up until this moment. If you go back to our demo app, you'll notice that at no point did we ask for any details from a user before they started a conversation with us. If they like, they can provide an email and that will pass those details on to us. So let's do that now. Click submit, and we head back to our inbox, and you'll see it's stitched that conversation together, and really importantly, it's pulled all of the social profile information associated with that email address. So now you'll have even more data on that user, and rather than having an anonymous site visitor you're talking to, you'll have an actual person you're communicating with. So now we have all that information on that user, and we're in a much better position to help them convert to a sign up. Now, another thing about GoSquared is that all of these actions that we track about these users, whether that be anonymous or logged in, are aggregated in real time. So if we click into our Now dashboard, you'll be able to see in real time all of the users on your site and the data associated with them. So you'll be able to see the number of visitors online, but you'll be able to see things like content. And content could be specific things like your product or solution pages, and these can help you gauge where the demand is for your product. Likewise, you'll be able to see sources of traffic or sources that are driving traffic to your site. So these could be specific sites, they could be search engines, or they could be social channels. And in regards to social, you can actually drill down even further with our Twitter integration. And with Twitter, all we have to do is toggle and put in our keyword that we want to track. And then anytime that keyword's mentioned, you'll be notified in real time through the Twitter widget. If you want to view that data over longer periods of time, you can do so in our trends dashboard, where you're able to view things across the day, the week, the month, and the year. And you'll also be able to see for that designated period of time, the amount of visits, unique visitors, page views, bounce rate, and average engage time. One of the really nice things about GoSquared is while you'll see as we track everything up to the hour, in this case, you'll see the drop-off point right here. We also give you an estimate as to how you're expected to pace for that period of time as well. And that's really nice because some other analytics platforms either don't provide this or it takes a little bit of setup. But with Trends, it's something you get right out of the box. Another really nice thing in Trends is if you click into our social widget, we're able to view things like specific tweets that have driven traffic to the site, along with the amount of users that tweet has driven to your site. So the important thing to note with GoSquared Analytics is that we track all of the actions someone took before signing up. So you have all the information you need to improve your sign-up process and help even further to convert more users to sign-ups. For example, you track how many pages a visitor is viewing when they're on your site. Are they viewing your pricing page on their initial session? If not, perhaps you could include more pricing details on your homepage. So there are just a few examples of how you can use GoSquared to help convert more visitors to signups. So next we're going to look at how you can use GoSquared to convert new prospects into customers. So let's say our site visitor signs up for a trial. So we'll head back to our demo site and we'll click sign up. And we'll enter James's email address and a password. And we'll just navigate back to our main site. So now if we head to GoSquared, when a user logs in or registers for the first time, we'll create a people profile for them. And that lives in your people dashboard. So you'll see we created a profile for James. Just like with chat, we will enrich their data with any social information that is associated with that email address. So like Inbox being your centralized hub for all of your user conversations, People is your centralized hub for all of your user data. So when we click the user, you'll see really importantly that we stitch together all of that anonymous browsing history. And that will be both their browsing and chat history. Now with People, we can track both events and properties about that user. So events being an action that a user takes on your site, properties being a specific attribute about that user. And once we have all of that data in People, you can start to build segments of your users or smart groups. So let's build a smart group. So we head back. So what we're going to want to do is identify where our high value users are coming from. So an easy way to do that with our demo platform is to add a filter, and we'll look at properties and we'll say plan. And I'm going to want to know any users of my pro plan. And then what I want to do is add a column which will be original source URL. So this is where their traffic originated from. So if I scroll over, I can see the majority of my high value users are coming from Facebook or Twitter. So what I'll do is create a smart group of any users that sign up that come from Facebook or Twitter. So what I'll do is add original source URL, contains Facebook, and we can use both an or and an and filter. So we'll say or contains Twitter. And I can save that smart group of high value potential users. So now when a new user signs up and they've either come from Facebook or Twitter, I can use them entering this smart group to trigger an action in another application. And likewise, if for any reason they didn't match that filter anymore, we can use that event to trigger an application in another application as well. So because what I want to do is convert new prospects into customers, what I'd like to be able to do is be notified as soon as someone signs up that matches filter. And because I spend a lot of time in Slack, which is a team communication platform, what I want to do is get sent a notification to a Slack channel. So let's set that up now. So to set up an integration, in this case, Slack integration, we'll just need to head to our integration page. And you'll find that in project settings and services. So if we head back, project settings, services, this is where all of our direct integrations will live. So in this case, we want to just connect Slack. So we'll click connect, and then we'll click add new, and then we'll go to set up GoSquared integration. And this will take us directly to Slack where we're logged in this case. And then all I need to do is just select a channel that I'd like to post to. So we've got some set up already. So I'm going to send it to my leads channel. Then click Add GoSquared integration. And then I'll get some further instructions, but all I really need is just the URL to the hook. So I'll just copy and paste that. I'll head back to my services page. I'll paste that in here and we'll click high value potential users to give it a name, and we'll save integrations. And that's it. That is Slack integration done. So now whenever a user matches this group, I'll get pinged a notification in that Slack channel. And that's a really easy way to stay on top of any prospects. In that instance, potentially start a live chat conversation with them. Now, for people who may not log in that often, what we can do to keep them engaged during their trial is send them an email of features that they may get a lot of value out of while they're using our demo platform. And we can do this with our drip email integration. So to do that, we'll head back to services and we'll click connect for drip, and we'll click connect. And you'll either have to log in this case we already have, so we'll just authorize that. And now we've connected GoSquared to our drip account, as simple as that. Then all we'll have to do is just head to drip and log into our dashboard. And in this case, we're going to want to create an automation. So we'll click automation, and then we'll click a rule other than a workflow. What I'm going to want to do is send a one-off email. So create a new basic rule. And we're going to say what should trigger this rule. So that's going to be an action performed in another application. In this case, GoSquared. Entered smart group. So what we'll do is just head back in and just always double check the name of our smart group. So let's say high value potential users. Just to match the name of it correctly. And then what action should we perform? We'll click send a one-off email. And then we can just say new features. Hello. Have you tried our newest feature? Yes. So that's it. And you just draft up your email that you want to send out. You'll click save email and then save rule. And there you go. That's another example of the next time a user signs up who matches our high value potential user criteria. We can use that to trigger an email to them that will keep them updated with all the newest features that they can use during their trial. So just another example really of how we can use GoSquared to help slowly move people through the funnel and convert new signups to paying customers. So that GoSquared really provides the data and the logic to be able to communicate with your customers throughout their trial, giving them the information and content they need to convert into that paying customer. And finally, we're going to look at how you can use GoSquared to delight your customers. So we'll head back to our demo site. So now our user is signed up and is a paying customer. And we want to look at how having live chat takes your support to another level. If a customer has an issue and brings it to your attention, the majority of times they're going to want that resolved as quickly as possible. Now, you could have a support email address or a support ticketing system, but nothing gives you more peace of mind as a customer than someone personally telling you that they're looking into your issue. And it doesn't mean you have to resolve it then and there, but just having the ability to immediately set their expectation will give your customer much more peace of mind and allow you to take control of the situation. So if I were to jump in as a customer and say, I'm having a few issues with X feature, I can head back into people, I can head back into my inbox, I can pick up my conversation with James, and right away I can get back to him and say, no problem, James, I'm looking into it for you. Now, because inbox is a shared inbox across all of your website's users, all of your website's agents, what you can do is actually add a note and just tell people Russell is looking into this issue. And obviously James won't see those details, but it's just a way for us to communicate across the team that I'm looking into this one. So live chat really gives your users a platform to communicate feedback before they get to that point where they may churn. We can also be proactive with our customers to keep them engaged. So a good way of doing that is to ask for feedback. What we'll do is jump back into GoSquared, and we're going to build another smart group. And the smart group I want to build is any of our users that have used our newest feature. So I'm going to click add a filter. I'm going to click an event, and I'm going to use our event called use newest feature. And we'll say within the last 14 days. So what I can do now is save the smart group. And then through chat, I can send a broadcast to these users. And a broadcast effectively lets me send one message to all of our users that will allow us to be really efficient in communicating that message. So I can say, how did you find our newest feature? And you'll see how that will look when it gets sent to them. And this is just a really nice way to keep a paying user engaged, and also showing them that you really kind of value their opinion as you continue to kind of shape and build your product. And just a really, as I say, simple way to extend that customer support and way to delight your customers. And finally, I just want to look at how we can build a smart group to proactively prevent churn as well. We head back, and just click out, and we click into everyone. What I want to do is identify any of my paying customers that haven't logged in for a while. It could be a good indication that they might be looking to churn. So I'll add a filter. An easy way to do that is I'll just find anyone that's on my demo pro plan, and I'm going to look at an event and say, we haven't seen them for more than a month. Save. High churn. We'll call that high churn. We'll call it a save. And then what we can do is either set up a Slack notification as soon as someone falls into this group. So we can proactively reach out to them and see if there's any reason they haven't logged in for a while, or if they're having any issues. Or we can use it to set up a one-off email like we just have with our drip integration to double check how they're getting on with our site. So that's a quick introduction to GoSquared, and hopefully you've seen how you can use GoSquared to turn your site's visitors into signups, convert new prospects into customers, and finally delight your customers through exceptional support. If you did have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks again.